Numbers. What a beautiful science, which I personally totally get, especially numerology. I love numerology. And I love how it's so personal and it really, really gets to the core of the purpose and the reason why things are happening around our lives, within our lives. I mean, I say this a lot. We trust numbers when dialing our phones to call somebody that is not in our presence, and we use numbers to calculate money and to feel secure about these numbers in the form of money. In so many areas of our lives, numbers show importance. And I ask people, why not just trust them to navigate our lives, to navigate our trajectory, our purpose in life, which is pretty cool. I want to take advantage of guiding you to these steps from number one all the way to number nine. But each podcast would focus on one number at a time so that I don't give you so much information that would be too much to process. It would just be more helpful, in my opinion, to explain each number in summary as we go so that you can understand more about numbers and numerology and how you can apply it in your life and how you can take advantage of these numbers. Welcome to this podcast called The Life in My Name. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm really grateful. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share it with others. Who knows? It may be something that can help another person. So sharing is caring. And also stay tuned because I post a lot of these new episodes Tuesdays and Fridays. And also, please, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm going to link my website in the comments section. And also, you can book a reading, book a session. Let's have this one on one so you can get to connect with yourself better. You can get to know yourself better through a numerology reading. And so you can also get to know other people around you. It's easy when we know ourselves. It's easy for us to relate with other people around us, and it's easy to forgive ourselves, to understand what our purpose in life is so that we don't waste any more time. Please do not hesitate. Reach out, send me a DM in my Instagram, or send me a message through my website. I'm looking forward to having a one-on-one session with you. I also do Reiki, distance and also in-person Reiki. So it will be amazing to just have a whole package of numerology and Reiki, and then you'll feel a whole energy shift in your life. Enjoy this podcast as we talk about, when I say we, I mean you and I, the listener, as we dive deep into number one in numerology. By the way, I want you to understand that each number, as I explain it, I want you to understand the connection to the part of the number that has the ability to share, to serve humanity. Because at the end of the day, this whole podcast is about discovering our purpose in life. So numbers help with that. I'm going to be explaining each number in relation to getting that connection with the purpose, and also the things that are subject to block the number from expressing themselves to the fullest, and etc. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for you. Just pay attention, enjoy, and don't forget to ask any questions in the comment. That way, it can help me answer to your questions for the next follow up podcasts. Okay. Number one, this is the first number that has form, I would say, because zero is like nothing, right? But one has the force of the beginning. So the beginning of anything from nothing is quantified as one. So this number one is everybody. Everybody is one. Even twins, they have the force of the oneness within themselves, because it's not like they're connected the whole bodies. And I mean, it's possible. I've heard of situations like that, but then still they can be counted as two people in one. So I'm explaining that one is everybody. It's that force of the self. It's the force of the understanding the self. That's the energy of the one. And in numerology, for a person to have a number that is really personal to themselves, we usually count using life path. The life path number is, it's like the easiest way to calculate a person's like energy, overall energy. And the life path number is added, like it's like you're adding each and every number in your birthday. So the whole birthday of a person, for instance, if a person is born the 10th of January 1990, right? You take the one, add it with the one for January, which is 2, and then you add the 19 from 1990. So you added 1 plus 9, which is 10, plus the other 9, which is 19, then adding the 2 from 1 and, I mean, 1 from January and 1 from the date, which then adds up to, let's see, 19, 21. Yeah. And after you get the 21, you add the 2 and the 1. So this person has a life path number 3. Okay. I mean, I probably should have looked for an example that would add up to a number 1. But the good thing is you get it. I believe you get it. I try to make it simple with simple numbers. And that's how a life path is calculated. But it goes deeper. It goes deeper than just a life path. And each and every number is connected to the person's mission. It's like a combination of different characters and different energies flowing in within each and every moment within the movement of time. Because each year has its own energy, each day has its own energy, each month has its own energy, and each person has their own personal energy. So all of it together shapes a person's way of navigating life. It's fun. It's pretty fun to watch and to experience and to know which number and which energy a person flows with or feels at a given time, because knowing this information can help a person know, for instance, the right time to start a project, the right time to do certain things in life. It's like it's all a combination of things that help navigate a person's life towards their purpose. And then a purpose, talking about the purpose, a person's purpose is calculated by their full name. I'll leave this one as a mystery. And if you're interested, book a reading. We'll tackle it up together, okay? And then I can explain deeper. But back to the number one. The number one energy is the masculine energy. It's the energy of leadership, taking control of one's life, taking control of situations, showing direction to people or followers, showing a sense of how to navigate life, right? That is part of what the number one is here to do, is to show other people. But how do they get to show other people how to navigate life? Like how? Like why do they have this force? The one has the gift of studying themselves. They know how to tap into their selves, to tap within themselves, so they can really study and understand what this human being is all about. It's a gift, they come with it. And they can also rely closely to the creator for all these answers, because within their character, they're not used to um, relying on other people, like asking for help from other people or asking for counsel from other people, because they find it within themselves. It is also good for them to reach out to other people, because it kind of helps them to work on their ego, because they have a thing of knowing everything and knowing how to do everything by themselves. So they may feel like they don't need help from other people, but in life, we need others. We need others in life. That's why they're couples. That's why we come with family, we come with friends. It's part of life, it's part of coexisting. So that's something that the one is also here to learn, instead of just studying from themselves, which is again a gift that they already have, but it's also something that they can learn to practice, that exercising that muscle of sharing with other people or talking or asking for help from other people, instead of thinking that they can figure out everything by themselves. So that's like a good work on their ego. Number ones also have that way of being able to guide other people, right? After they've studied themselves, after they've learned how to figure out life, how to figure out who they are. They can show other people as well how to connect, because that is very important. I mean, it's living life without connecting to the self. It's subject to get the person to live on other people's terms, because they cannot connect to themselves. They don't know who they are, they don't know what they want. Therefore, if anything goes, like whatever this person says, that person could just say, okay, and then they go and do that thing. But then sometimes it's to the expense of their life and the expense of the things that they want to do. It's subject to waste time following other people, instead of getting connected to the self and knowing what works for the self. So ones can help others with that. They can help show others how to tap into their inner knowing. Number one's having that gift of starting things or being the first at things. They have the creativity of seeing how to begin something, seeing how to begin, like in inventing something from zero to something. You know, this is that force of creation is also within the number one. I say also because there are other numbers that have more focus on that creativity, but the one has that beginning force, the ideas. It's also a number connected to the mind, the thoughts. That's how the ideas come in. And then action. They're good at initiating something, starting something, and going for it. It's their gift. That force of knowing the self, that force of understanding the self, it's also good to not see the self as if we are somewhere so high, or where other people, like, looking at other people as if they're in a low position, or seeing as, have letting the ego get so big, pretty much. It's good to keep that ego in check and not let it start walking on top of other people, thinking that they're better than everybody else. Because think of it this way: when a person connects to knowing themselves, it's also within that knowing themselves that can connect them to understanding the creator. It can connect them to understanding their abilities to be like the creator. But when a person understands and taps into those gifts of being like the creator, as a human being, we're not perfect. And ego can then start to kick in, and seeing others as less. That is not the way to do it. And also seeing as if they do things better than others, which is also what can lead them to start not wanting to ask help. It's from not trusting other people's opinions, or not trusting that other people know how to do things the way they can do it. To a certain extent, it's good to trust the self, but it's also good to trust other people as well, because together we form a union and even more power. Okay? So the number one, as the leader, they can learn to lead others and also be open to ask for help. Also be open to appreciate the skills in another person, letting another person lead as well in areas that the number one does not really know. And all these, all this information I'm telling you, remember, we are all number ones, right? So this applies to everybody, because we have skills within us that we know a lot about, or we feel, oh, I know this more. It's good to share the things that we know. It's good to share with others and let others share with us as well, because it is within that studying of the self that comes with the one that shows us the things that we have within us that we can share with other people. It's good to always have that thought and that idea in the heart, to feel the desire to share, because all that we have, we as well was given and is given. So ones also have this mentality of wanting to keep things to themselves as well, instead of thinking of ways to give and share and multiply them, it's something that they can learn to increase within themselves. It's something that they can learn to expand within themselves. I hope all this makes sense to you. And I hope that each and every one of us can look for a way to expand that knowing within ourselves by studying ourselves, and studying ourselves to the point of unlocking that desire of wanting to share. Because when we realize that even the things that we find about ourselves are not even ours, we were also given. All these gifts are gifts we were given. We are also receiving. So sharing can open up the treasure of receiving more. It opens up that ability to receive more. So remember, guys, that life is a gift. Life is a gift that is worth giving to others. It's a gift that we can use to really show how to help the next person in line in whatever skills that we have, in whatever things that we realize that no, this is my purpose from studying the self. And tools like numerology can help connect to those gifts that may be hidden within us because we haven't really tapped into that part of ourselves that can show us all these mysteries hidden within us. So, book a reading for yourself, gift yourself. If not, gift another person. Who knows who may need this? Who knows who may need to understand themselves better? I hope you're enjoying this. And I'm going to share more about numbers, about especially number one and all the other numbers. But the next episode will be about number two. So stay tuned. And the cycle goes on. We'll talk about nine. I mean, like all the way one to nine, and then start again because there's so much to talk about number one. But I want you to at least absorb this information about the leadership and studying the self and awakening the desire to share with other people, and also being open to receive help even in no matter what leadership role each one of us plays within our lives. It's good to tap into that sharing of information and receiving and trusting other people as well as trusting ourselves, and also opening our gifts to share with other people. Enjoy. Stay blessed.